All right. Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. Let me make sure everything's working. Make sure the settings are right. Okay, you can hear me? Yes. Okay, all is perfect. Okay. Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Wednesday, January 18th. It is the year 2023 still, and it's 10:55 a.m. here in the Arizona desert. BitcoinDailyView.com. Got more for you there as always. All right, looking at the crypto market today, it is in general a red day, as you can see. For some reason, SHIB has been pumping like crazy, but it hit a pretty hard retrace just a little bit ago. And we'll see if that actually makes a bounce. We'll check out SHIB before we're done. Looking at Bitcoin trading volume explicitly, it's at 18.8 billion. That ain't bad. Even though today's kind of dumping, it's a good. That's pretty good volume. Looking at the big indexes here, everybody, the Dow, Nasdaq, S&P 500 opened. There's no screwing around. Just dived every one of them. Looking a little bit close here at the SPX, the S&P 500. Everybody is kind of red in general, except for Qualcomm. For some reason, semiconductors seem to have a little bit of green life in them. Anyway, there you go. Tesla down just 1.9% today. It was cranking yesterday. All right, let's keep rocking. Looking at the big stuff here. Yeah, on the top left-hand corner here, we got U.S. oil spot, red candle today. Daily candles, the dollar strength index DXY. Oh, Darth Maul Doji there in the red, still below all important moving averages on the daily chart. Looking at the S&P 500 red day, lost the daily 200 moving average. Hopefully, it can find support there on the 50 moving average daily. Looking at Bitcoin today, red candle so far on the daily, but above the 200 moving average. That's pretty good. I'll take it. Looking at gold, red day. Looking at silver, red day. So in general, the market overall is getting hammered. All right. This morning, this is 5-minute candles. Earlier this morning, Bitcoin took a dump and it wrecked a lot of shorts. I saw a couple, many multi-million-dollar shorts just get liquidated. Boom, just like that. Massive buy sell volume came in. I don't know why this happened, other than it did. So I'm not sure what caused the dump. I haven't seen any specific news except that would have caused it. I don't know. I do not know. One thing I can say is the exchanges now are all in the green. Let's look at the top 60 exchanges here. All of them in the green. So people are taking advantage of this. If I was to conjecture, I would say I bet they're buying the dip. Just be careful, y'all. You can buy the dip straight to hell. So be careful about that. The dip ain't the dip until it's a confirmed uptrend. And if you're shorting, the dip's a dip when it's a confirmed downtrend, I guess you could say. Anyway, Bitcoin coming in at 20,927. Boom, I'll take it. That's wonderful. In general, the market's pretty red for the top 100, except for eCoin, whatever that is. It's up, dang, a lot of percent. What? Plus 549%. That's got to be broken. Or, well, I hope you had a position if you, damn. I dumped all my Bitcoin on that. That's for sure. Okay, Ethereum proof of work is doing quite well, up 8.2%. Engine, cool thing. Rather good thing. Good project. ENJ up 8.7%. That makes sense to me, unlike whatever the crap eCoin is. And Kava has been cranking. Going to take a look at that. I don't know why it's been doing so well, but it's been doing quite well, up 13% last 24 hours. So we got some stuff in the green. And should be, there you go, 8.8%. I'll take it. Looking at longs versus shorts on the over at Binance, well, the posh volume is 44% long, 55% short. So definitely a short bias for Bitcoin on Binance, and for Ethereum, 46% long, 53% short. So definitely a short bias for both those. Now, here's what's interesting to me. Big news of the day so far. And is this right here? So this is a 45-minute chart. I know, very, very short price action. And we're gonna zoom out a little bit, okay? But this does show that of course we kind of started moving. Nice little uptrend kind of started around January 23rd. Really got going around I'm sorry, not 23rd, duh. January 6th got started. January 8th, it really kept going. January 11th, it really started cranking. Really been moving ever since. We've kind of been plateaued for a while. And if you look at this, you can almost see a range in this. Sometimes you don't see them until this happens. But there you go. That's kind of a range if you think about it. So you could say Bitcoin's been ranging, and it just pretty much bumped the top of the range, and then it bumped the bottom. What gets me here is this: 45-minute chart. That's a perfect wick down, and then another wick a little bit past the 45 on the 45-minute chart, the 200 moving average. I think it's a pretty darn powerful time frame. I know 45 minutes sounds strange. People don't tend to trade that a lot, but I do, especially when I'm looking at very short time frames. The 45 tends to tell you a little bit more what's going on as far as an indicator of direction and what's going to happen. So what we're all trying to guess. Then on the hourly, everyone trades the hourly. They don't do the 45-minute. Try the 45-minute. You might like it. Anyway, we're not in a squeeze right now. We're just straight up dumping, but we're recovering. So let's see what happens. Directional index is in the red, but the ADX is trending up. Directional index is also beginning to look a little bit positive there. Looking at the hourly, what happened? Hourly never even got to the 200 moving average, and that's why I like the 45-minute. It can show you those things. So it may have bounced in a very, very logical spot. Let's actually look at a 4-hour chart. Yeah, a 4-hour chart, it's looking fine. But one thing you can say is for Bitcoin, this is a big one. I think we talked about this yesterday, but there is right there bearish divergence, and then here it is again. The squeeze indicator pretty much is obvious that's bearish divergence, that you're trending down. I mean, but I know people look at the RSI for divergence, and I think that's totally rad. I mean, go forth and do so if that's what you do. But I have found that the directional index and the ADX actually show more powerful diversions. Especially on time frames that you've come to really be sticky for what you're working with. So like for me, Bitcoin, 45-minute, 4-hour daily. That's where the magic is. So if we look here, and I mentioned this yesterday, by golly, it's why I do these things sometimes, just so I'll have like proof, that that I'm right and wrong sometimes, But anyway, 4-hour chart. This is where you really see the divergences, in my opinion, on Bitcoin. So we're at an upwards movement here, and then of course on the directional index, you can see it was trending down along with the ADX. And if you want to use that indicator, if you go to bitcoinlevy.com, ADX, just to search for ADX and DI histogram, it's right here. In fact, I'll even take it if you so desire. I will take it and I'll put it in the live chat. So if you're watching, you can just grab that. I find that for divergences, I mean, for many, many things, but definitely in showing divergence, it's absolutely gold. I love it. So anyway, there you go. Boom. Now, that's what we can say about that. Bitcoin, it retraced some today. What does that mean? I just don't know. We'll see what happens. When you're pumping like this, you're going to have a bit of we'll see. We could be in for like a full-on BART pattern. Down to here would make sense. Down to here would make sense. Down to here would make sense. There's support right here. That's where the 200 moving average is too. On the 4-hour chart, that'd be way down around like 17,500 or so. That would make some people happy. If we got a bounce there on the 4-hour chart, that would be extraordinarily powerful, especially if the indicators reflected an uptrend after that. If we bounce there, boom, I'll take it. But let's do something. Let's go back here, way back here, and let's do a fib sequence. If you look at that, we wicked perfectly to the 236 fib level at 20,403. That would make sense. That's legit. This Fibonacci sequence is pretty sticky. It's got the 618 there. It's got the .5 there. It looks good. It found a glass ceiling it had to work on getting above around the 786. So this is legit. I like this. This looks good. This might have been a logical bounce spot here. Let's see what happens. Fib is pretty powerful, especially on the 4-hour chart. So let's see if we start getting that directional index that starts trending back up. If the squeeze indicator begins to start trending back up, boom, we're there. I'm not going to look at the RSI. I just don't tend to use it that much, but directional index tends to work for me better along with the ADX. And definitely we saw a bearish divergence and bam, it definitely played out. Let's see what happens next. I think when you're pumping that hard and dumping like this, it's all a bit of conjecture. If you got a big picture idea of why it's going to go one way or the other, that's great. But as far as the chart, all I can tell you when you see trends like this is something is happening. It's pumping, and it will probably BART out at least to some extent before it continues. if it continues. Shiba Inu, it's crazy. I don't know why it's pumping. I really don't. I love the coin. I love the project. It's all good to go. It's basically what it's what Doge will never be. Is what basically it's my opinion of SHIB. So anyway, was pumping like crazy yesterday. Bam, pumped like crazy. Came back, tried to make support on top of this upwards channel. Could not hold it this morning when Bitcoin dumped. Came down, did not quite reach the bottom of this channel, and now it's pushing back up. I'm not going to get in. I'm just I was kind of like plotting here. I was looking like, wow, what if I bought this bottom? If it gets back to the top of the channel, that's 13%. That's not bad at all. So anyway, the indicators don't show me yet that it's actually got some real upwards energons yet. 15-minute chart, no. Let's see what happens. Though I do like this. So looking at the 15-minute chart, very, very short time frame, I know, but we kind of were this action on the 15-minute chart. You really do see the evidence of a BART pattern. Look at that. That's pretty BART. That's a BART pattern, by golly. Not quite perfect, but close enough. And look where it bounced. 200 moving average on the 15-minute chart. So got the candles by Sam, fired off some yellow candles showing 3 or more consecutive downwards bodies of the candles. And well, now it bounced. Wick below, body hit it right there of the candle, and it never made the 314, never made the bottom of the channel. Bam, logical spot to bounce. If this directional index, if the squeeze indicator starts to turn towards the positive, and the directional index begins to, and the ADX starts climbing, maybe it will continue. Too crazy right now for me to get into, but very, very interesting. Shiba Inu, definitely. It's got a score to settle. It's tired of dumping, and it's been really on fire ever since it turned up recently. It ain't taken. It ain't going down with the ship. It wants some action. It wants to live. So let's see what happens. Still too much of a crazy zone for me to get into right now. But if it looks good for you, then go forth and have fun. All right, let's keep on rocking here. Let me actually save this to the end. Bonk, bonk. Okay, don't need that. All right, some alts. This is what a lot of things are doing right now. I mean, this is SSV versus Bitcoin. As you can see, anyway, I don't want to sound negative about Shiba Inu. I just this is really a crazy pattern right here. I mean, if you look at the 45-minute chart, that does look very BART, bonk, bonk, bonk. And looking at the 15-minute chart like this here, it bounced at an incredibly logical spot right there in the 200 moving average in the 15-minute chart. I mean, that's pretty damn extraordinary. So I'm just not exactly seeing. I don't exactly see what I want to see yet. I want to see the 45-minute indicators here look a little bit more positive. I want to see a little bit more positivity out of the directional index. I want to see the squeeze indicator begin to turn up. I'm just not sure yet. So I'm watching SHIB though. If it gives me the if it gives me the right vibe, maybe I'll hop in on that. Looking at upwards channel here, where you at? Like this guy here, you can this is a little bit of a crazy channel. I mean, so many odds are like this with Bitcoin, especially being volatile, like SSV versus Bitcoin. I kind of like what I'm seeing this channel in general. I know it's kind of sloppily drawn, but it has kind of held together. And let's watch for the squeeze indicator to go positive, and directional index is green again now. Let's watch for that to turn up. This guy could make a bounce at the bottom of the channel. So, and that's right at about a 8088 stats right there. If that was to actually get back to the top of that channel, what would we be looking at? We'd be looking at, if it could get back to the top, that's 16%. Boom! That'd be kind of glorious. Something to watch. Myself, I put a trailing take profit right below the mid range, and that's like at 9%. And do like a 3% variance in your trailing take profit, and see if you can get back to the top. Might be able to. Right now, it just don't know which way it's going to go. The volatility of Bitcoin this morning definitely has thrown things into a tizzy. But SSV versus BTC, I like it. Something else I like about it is, on the daily chart, it's above the 200 moving average. A little tip, and this kind of comes from the blockchain trading, blockchain education trading methodology. On the daily, find things on the daily which are above the 200 moving average. They're going to be a lot more likely to run up than run down. Okay, it's going to give you a little bit of energy there. Okay, 4-hour chart looks nice. 4-hour chart is still going. Look at that. Look at nice upwards channel, kind of. It's an upwards channel. This guy wicked out of it. Let me get rid of this because it's confusing. Could continue. I know my channel's not perfect, but just bear with me. Anyway, yeah, it's only just getting started. So I'm gonna watch here on the watching the hourly. It kind of fell out of the channel there a little bit, but indicators are good. So with that said, keep an eye on SSV versus BTC. I like the way its daily chart looks. I like the way the 4-hour chart looks. And this channel, yeah, I kind of stayed in the channel. Let's just see what happens. Let's watch this guy. I'm really watching it. I'm going to watch this guy. I'm going to keep watching it pretty close. Go down to like 15 minutes here, and I'm going to watch for I'll look at that in the 15 minutes. What happened on the 15-minute chart? Look at that 200 moving average bounce, just perfect. And it got back in the channel after falling out of it. So boom, I'm gonna wait for the 15-minute chart to start looking perky. When the 45-minute chart gives me a little bit of confidence, maybe I'll ride this one back to the top of the channel. But also, I'm kind of a little bit hesitant today because I don't know. Until Bitcoin is done dumping, the alts are going to be way too volatile for really trading. That's kind of SHIB's problem right here. Just too much volatility upstream with Bitcoin. Kava, it's gone insane recently. This morning, while everything else was dumping, it lost its friggin' mind, got out of the upwards channel. Indicators look powerful. This guy is wonderful. I like what I'm seeing. How's a very short time frame look right here? 15 minutes. How's that look? Pretty darn good indicators. This thing is just getting started, but it is retracing. I'm going to wait to see what happens here on Kava. But Kava versus USDT to me is really, really intriguing. And I think also, how's it on the daily? Above or below the 200 moving average. It's below the 200 moving average on the daily. So do know if it starts running, it'll undoubtedly find resistance there at around 1.3602. It's going to start finding resistance there for sure, getting over that daily 200 moving average. But how about the 4-hour moving average? Where's that looking? Where's that at? It's above it. Yeah, I like that 4-hour chart, nice and clean. Looking good. 4-hour chart just showing a little bit of a nice continuing uptrend. All about, are we going to go back into the channel, or are we going to find support above it? Woo! Right now, looking at the hourly chart, how's that look? Hourly's looking good. I'm going to just keep watching this guy. I'm going to watch the 45-minute chart here. I'm not, I don't. If I wanted to do a risky trade, I just hop in this thing, boom. But I'm going to wait till it actually comes back in the channel, and then let's see what it does. Too much volatility. But the chart looks right. This guy could very well continue going. I'm just going to watch it a little bit closer. I want to make sure that this thing definitely, yeah, see, looking at the 5-minute chart here, you can see it had a hard push, beautiful push, but it's retracing. It's still trying to figure out as an indecisive doji right there. I'm just going to watch this guy. I want to make sure we're actually going to see if we see something like this on the 5-minute, and then the other time frames look good, maybe this guy will continue. Kava looking awesome above the 200 moving average on the hourly 4-hour. Actually, let me check the hourly. Yep, looking good. 45-minute, hourly, 4-hour. Daily chart's looking good, but it's below the 200 moving average, and it will undoubtedly probably find resistance there when it gets going. So I'm going to put this at 5 minutes. I'm going to keep watching this guy and watch for that bounce. It might be a good play. Trading view, okay, nothing there. All right, I could look at alts all day, but that's the most exciting one, really, was Kava. So we'll just leave it at that. And now, this is where many people do drop off, but I'm going to go through some news real fast. Okay, just in, Texas government proposes allowing Bitcoin as an authorized investment for the state. Hey, that's pretty darn cool. Like Matt here says, God's country. Damn straight. All right, if you're on the fence or critical of the unelected globalist agendas, you are standing in the way of their great reset. This is over at sociable.co. I don't want to play the video because you guys can't hear it. I need to figure out how you guys can hear when I play little snips. But like this guy here, he posts a picture of the Iron Maiden. There you go. But I listened to this morning. Klaus Schwab has just been whining like a little about that some people in the World Economic Forum are negative. They don't really like, it's kind of come into this thing where he's become quite the dictator of the WEF. And he's actually, even though they're all like disgusting globalists, all of them, all the members, all y'all, you're failures of humanity. And the thing is that there's dissension because he's kind of become this like sort of like Hitlerian dictator, and a lot of like the low-level people who just want to see global genocide and things like that, and be like, neoliberal rule over the earth with a nice fascist iron fist, not that neocons are any better, but WEF is neoliberalism. All the same, he's freaking out the evil people, and he was whining that there's dissension, that his vision is not being just like he's like, I just don't have enough power. You just dissension, it hurts me. I wish he's like, he's really in watching him. He's an old doddering old man at this point. He's just like, why don't you? Why can't we finish the great vision of the Reich? Anyway, I love watching them suffer. I love stacking Bitcoin Satoshi, because every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, metaphorically, is a punch in his reptilian nuts. All right, so just in. Oh, we already saw that one. All right, is the camera rolling? Anyway, guys, I don't think you can actually hear this. I don't like or dislike Greta, but the thing is, this represents a big deal. This is so totally staged. They even were there like putting like mud on their faces and on their clothes as if they were struggling. Totally engineered thing. Kind of like when AOC was crying out in front of a fence in a parking lot. I show this because the issue that I have is I feel bad for Greta, because she's she's 20, but she's dumb. And anyway, she doesn't know what's going on. And the thing is, whether you believe in her cause or not, she's a propaganda thing. Like, do you really think how'd she go and speak in front of the UN or wherever she spoke? What did she send somebody an email and they said, "Oh yeah, come talk to us"? No, she's an engineer. She's creation. If you ask me, who actually is on the other side of her leash, if you really want to know, is I think it's this guy. And he's kind of an old pervy dude allegedly, and he would dig her. I'm just saying. So anyway, the thing is, allegedly. So the thing is that this is happening too much in the West, in the collective West, in Europe, Germany, especially America. You cannot win wars. And believe me, they're eco-fascism. What she's pushing is what he's pushing, and it's not pretty. And what we have going in our favor is they think they can win via Instagram. Like mean tweets don't win wars. And that's something that like the NATO and the EU and this guy's probably alleged secret military is finding out. It's that no, dude, psycho half drunk Russians with Kalashnikovs that wins wars, man. This bullshit doesn't. Anyway, can we keep going here? Where is it at? Darn, it refreshes. It always refreshes on me. Sorry, guys. I had a feel good story, but darn it, it keeps. Even when I go to the story, it refreshes. It has this like auto refresh thing. Anyway, guys, sorry, I had a feel good story, but I lost it. So, Bitcoin Truth Seekers, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're part of the peaceful revolution. I do think cryptocurrency is the best way. It is our most important thing. It is truly every Bitcoin Satoshi you own is a vote of optimism for a beautiful future for humanity. It really is. And every single Bitcoin Satoshi you own makes a piece of shit old globalist like him cry. So keep stacking those sats, because we're going to win. We're going to win. He wouldn't be crying like a little about people not all just doing his bidding as if he was God, if he was winning. So seeing him cry and whine, that made my day. Sorry if I'm vain, but it kind of gave me a little boost. It did really. My testosterone's up about 15% just seeing that. Take care.